We're going to go to, is that Larnica?
Larnica.
Larnica.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
You're licensed.
I'm doing well.
Yeah. What's your title?
I'm a licensed professional counselor.
Yes.
So you've been hearing these stories. You've been hearing people, their experience of what they've been going through. What could you add to this conversation to kind of help people be able to, realize that they are going through something and that they need to kind of seek some help?
Basically, if you can observe a difference within yourselves, a shift, what is going on? Am I my regular self? What's the difference? What's different with me? My particular experience, I noticed something was going on with me. I've been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. When I developed a phobia, I didn't know what anxiety was. I wasn't a therapist yet. I was in school to be a therapist, and I was dealing with a lot of stress at church, stress at home, relationship stress, and trying to deal with being my authentic self, where I noticed I was having stomach issues, and I thought, well, maybe I'm having reflux. Maybe I had my gallbladder taken out a couple of years prior to that. Maybe that's what's going on. And I went to my doctor, like, okay, give me some Nexium or something, because I don't know what this is. And she told me, oh, you're stressed. I'm like, I'm stressed. Okay. So then I noticed that I'm not eating, I'm not socializing much anymore. And I come to the realization, okay, something is wrong. And as a counseling student, I was able to talk with my professor, and she was like, okay, sounds like anxiety. You need to see a therapist. And I'm like, as a therapist, how can I see a therapist? And so she said, that's what we do. It is helpful. If you have experienced some things in your life, it helps you to better help your clients. So if you recognize something is different, family members may tell you, hey, something going on with you. Those are some signs. If you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're eating more. COVID has done a thing, to everybody. Seek help. We try to look at WebMD, and we try to look at all these other things to self-diagnose, but it wouldn't hurt to talk to someone. Talk to your primary care physician first. Hopefully they will refer you to therapy or even to a psychiatrist. People are afraid to talk to psychiatrists. A psychiatrist does not mean you are at your ultimate point where you're psychotic. That is a specialist. The same way, if I have heart problems, I'll talk to a cardiologist. If I'm having some mental health issue, if I know that I just don't feel right, my body, my thoughts, I'm just not being myself, they can do an evaluation on you to determine what's going on, if it's something that'll require medication, is it circumstantial, but also seek a talk therapist as well.
And part of the reason that I wanted to have you on was because when I got your email and you said that you're a licensed professional counselor, I said, this is, and you wrote about your actual experiences. I thought that was so profound, because oftentimes we don't think about healers needing help.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I just thought it was important to have you on here, not just as an SME, a subject matter expert, but as somebody who could really speak to it, from a professional standpoint and from a personal.
Definitely. With COVID, I recognized here lately that I was dealing with depression. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I'm a behavioral mental health counselor at a public school. So I work in education, and I have a private practice. And we've moved to the virtual education, virtual counseling in the school setting. And I was irritated. I just wanted to lay down all the time. I found myself consuming alcohol a little bit more than what I would normally do for me, and I had to take a step back. I'm like, okay, Larnica, something's going on. My sister even commented, okay, what's going on with you? My mood changed. I was able to observe my mood changing, and I had to gather myself, calm myself down. I do have a therapist, so I was able to consult my therapist and talk with her about some things. And those are things I know. I know coping techniques. I know what you need to do. But sometimes it helps to hear it from somebody else, from a colleague, from another professional. When you're going through some things, to tell you as the helper, it's okay to take some time for yourself. You know, I really promote and advocate for self-care. I had to take some time. I had to take some time to myself to reflect, to rejuvenate, because how can I help other people if I'm just drained and burned out? You know, so yeah, I thought as a therapist, oh Lord, who's going to want to see me if I'm having my own issues? But I'm human. You know, we all are. We have different issues that occur in life, and it's okay.
No, I would say, Nanika, thank you so much. We're gonna bring you back up for your final thoughts.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, darling.
Thank you.
And she brought up a really good point too. Oh, actually, I think I was reading in the comments. Where's her? Oh, here she is. Somebody said in the comments about those out-of-pocket fees are very expensive. This organization is silencetheshame.com. It's a wealth of information over there and resources over there. And if you want to simply donate, you can do that over there as well.
And last but not least, Nanika.
Yes. Well, as mentioned before, with being an introvert versus depression, how do you know you're not depressed? Being an introvert, you typically enjoy your own company. As the panelist before mentioned, it's a personality trait as far as being an introvert versus an extrovert. Signs and symptoms of depression: withdrawal, social isolation, loss of appetite, maybe eating too much, maybe self-injurious behaviors, like as you mentioned with the being online, you know, with the sexual addictions and things that you had there. Feelings of worthlessness. You know, it's a mood disorder. So some days you might be okay, I'm good, and some days that mood may go down. You know, you may have periods of time where you're in that lower mood, you know, but it's good to have these conversations. It's good to ask questions. You know, many of us have social media platforms. If you have a question or concern about mental health disorders versus is this just me, what's going on, look us all up. You can check me out, Lornika Lavlas, LPC, PLLC on Instagram, Facebook, www.lavlaslpc.com. But more conversations are needed. I really, really appreciate that. Get help. We have to help ourselves. You know, no one else is going to help us. No one else is going to say, hey, you little people of color, y'all got some stuff going on. Go and get some help. We have to reach out and help our community.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much, Monica.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.